this is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today we're going to look at the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga 11. 11-inch Yoga, no kidding, we got that part just from the name. And what does that mean? Besides the fact you get a great Lenovo keyboard here, you get the Yoga Flip. So this guy does this. You want to make it into a tablet, like so. And just like the Yoga 13, the bizarre thing is you have the keyboard on the bottom, but Lenovo does sell a sleeve if that freaks you out when you're holding it. And of course you can use it in tent mode too, and we're going to show you all the different positions. The important thing to know about this guy is that it runs on NVIDIA Tegra 3 1.4 gigahertz. So this is Windows RT, this is not full Windows 8, and that means you only get the live tile applications. We'll talk about what that means now. The Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga 11 is the smaller companion to the Yoga 13 that we reviewed a couple of months ago. Really fine 13-inch Ultrabook with a touch screen running Windows 8, full Windows 8 there. This guy here, 11.6 inches, 2.8 pounds, so even more portable, and it runs Windows RT. Windows RT is that version of basically the Windows 8 operating system that just runs the modern UI or the live tile applications that you see here. You still have access to the desktop, traditional Windows desktop. But other than using that for Windows-based tools like Calculator, WordPad, Journal, running Office 2013, RT, which is included, it's free, that's a nice bonus with all these RT tablets. You're probably not going to be doing a whole lot with the desktop here. You've got the little center button, takes you right back. You can also use the Windows key on the keyboard. So 1.4 gigahertz NVIDIA Tegra 3 CPU with 2 gigs of DDR3 RAM and your choice of either 32 or 64 gigs of flash storage. That's eMMC style flash storage. That's typical for RT tablets and even for the Atom tablets. And we do suggest you get the 64 gig short. It adds about $100, $140 to the price, but 32 gigs is kind of spare. So far, live tile applications don't take up nearly as much space as full Windows apps do, so you don't have to worry as much about storage. But on our device here, we've installed a couple of games, some applications, again, live tile type applications. We have about 42 gigs free of our 64 gig storage capacity, so that gives you an idea, especially if you want to carry some media around. In terms of performance, it feels quite zippy. I have no complaints with Tegra 3 and RT tablets. This is definitely well tuned. Faster performing than the Asus VivoTab RT tablet, about the same as Surface, which is pretty darn quick after the software updates that it got. No complaints, not as fast as a Core i5 or Core i7 full computer, but then what stands in favor of this guy is phenomenal battery life. So far the Tegra 3 and also the Atom Windows 8 products have really, really good battery life. And we're talking a large 4-cell battery in here because this keyboard deck gives you more room for a battery, so it's bigger than a 2-cell battery. We see it in a lot of just slate-only tablet designs. So Lenovo claims this can go up to 13 hours. And beyond that, standby is very good with the Tegra 3. Also, again, with the Atom CPU. So you don't really have to shut this thing down when you're not going to use it for a couple of hours. You just put it to sleep, you close the lid, you come back, you go within a couple of percentage points of the same amount of power you left it with. So you can use it a lot like a mobile OS tablet, like an iPad or an Android tablet. If we take a look around, well, first off, we have that neat hinge. You can go flat. You can go tent mode, as Lenovo calls it, and the screen will automatically rotate like that. So if you want to give a presentation. Gorilla Glass, as you can see, it's a little prone to glare, but it's also durable. That's a nice thing. And you're looking at a lovely IPS display here with about 350 nits of maximum available brightness. Resolution is your standard 1366 by 768. For an 11.6 inch display, I'm not complaining. It looks plenty sharp enough. It looks rather nice. Color balance on this is particularly pleasing. It makes movies look very good. You get natural, warm, rich tones. Black levels are pretty good on this as well. Contrast is also fairly good. So definitely you're getting one of the nicer displays. And when you're looking at this compared to, say, something like the Asus VivoBook Q200 or X202, which are 11.6 inch, just standard clamshell notebook designs but have a touchscreen. Those are cheaper, about $550, but you get a TN panel of mediocre quality, whereas this one is like really stunning to look at. So beyond the cool little flippy versatility of this, and you can turn it into a tablet if you want, as I showed you, just like that. 2.8 inches, so you know, if you're going to be holding this guy, it's heavy in your hands after a while. You can see the viewing angles are very good on that since it's IPS. Glare is really the biggest factor right here. And yet the keyboard is on the bottom, pretty weird. So when you're holding it, you will feel the keys. The keys are disabled, the trackpad is disabled when you're not using it in laptop mode, so it doesn't matter how much you touch it. But if this freaks you out, Lenovo makes a little keyboard cover sleeve that goes on the bottom so you don't start pressing on the keys. In terms of ports, And other features, here's our volume controls on the side. They're over here. There's also keyboard controls for that, but they give you extra controls, so if you're using it in tablet mode, you can still get to that stuff. We have a full-size HDMI port, which is pretty unusual for a mobile device here. USB 2.0 port on this side, 3.5mm combo jack for your audio. Sturdy hinges here, double jointed 360-degree hinges. I'm not worried about those. Pretty stiff, so it doesn't wobble when you tap the screen, which is a problem with some. Here we have the new rectangular style connector Lenovo's been using in some of their thinner products lately. That's because the barrel charger takes up more room, they say. This actually comes with a laptop kind of charger. In fact, surprisingly, for Tegra 3 we thought it would just have your usual small wall wart, but this is what the charger brick looks like. It's, you know, it's about the same size as a ThinkPad Twist chargers. It's not that teeny, surprisingly so. The good thing is you do get a lot of cord on here, just like you would with a laptop computer. And then here we have an SD card slot, full-size SD card slot, compatible with SD XC card. So if you have a 64 gig card, you can put that on here and extend your media storage capabilities. Another USB 2.0 port, and the two grills that you notice, one on each side, these are the stereo speakers, which are reasonably loud. And this is your rotation lock button right over here. And here we've got Lenovo's, what they call AccuType keyboard here. This is going to be the best 11.6-inch keyboard on the market, period. Lenovo really knows how to make a keyboard, and I have never enjoyed typing so much on such a small keyboard. Really very good. So this product is particularly good for those of you who actually do a lot of content creation that involves words. You're going to like typing on this keyboard. It is not, however, backlit. Bummer there. Large roomy Synaptics trackpad actually works well, supports multi-touch gestures, though those are less important since you have a touchscreen if you want to do those kind of swipey, multi-touchy gestures. Typical IdeaPad surface here, textured pebbled black. Nice looking, good quality. Like it a lot. And if we look at the outer surfaces, again, it looks just like one of the IdeaPad U series. You get that sandwich kind of book look, the black over here, and then your choice of either gray, which seems to be the only thing available right now, or the legendary Clementine Orange, which seems to be MIA, just like it is for the Yoga 13. Can't wait till it's available because it looks cool. So you have a soft touch finish over a metal casing. It's grippy, it feels good, it doesn't pick up a lot of fingerprints. It's easy to clean though. And here we have the bottom surface. Looks just like, again, your standard IdeaPad, soft touch finish, metal underneath. Nice big rubber feet, keep it on the table, keep it grippy. Solid, doesn't flex, well made, very nice piece. This competes certainly with the Surface nicely in terms of quality materials, quality feel. You don't feel like you're getting some budget piece of plastic here. As you should, because this is a relatively expensive product. It's $7.99 for the 64 gig version for Windows RT, and we're talking not full Windows. This cannot run your x86 applications, that is your Windows 7 applications, just the Live Tile Modern UI applications. That's a big chunk of change, so you want to see some quality for your money here. That isn't to say this isn't useful, because the whole point of this is extreme portability, awesome battery life, and the ability to run MS Office 2013, which is included with the device. And while this is a pricey product, I can't say just how important that can be to people who are road warriors on the go and primarily use web-based applications. Yeah, you might not have some of the apps that you're looking for, say like Dropbox right now, but you can always get to Dropbox through the web browser, either the modern UI version of IE10 over here that runs full screen or the desktop version. So you can run web-based applications through modern IE10, that is a live tile version, or right here on the desktop version, and this supports full Adobe Flash for IE10 in the live tile mode. Microsoft has a whitelist where it allows Adobe Flash video, otherwise it's going to go for HTML5 video. Kind of weird, I don't know why they did that, but anyway, you get full flash here. Since this is RT, that doesn't mean you can install your QuickTime plugin or anything like that. It has to be compiled for the ARM CPU that's used in Windows RT. It's not that Microsoft is locking things down, it's just that folks actually have to recompile their applications to work on the mobile processor that we used to see mostly just on Android tablets. And again, for those of you who need to do Office, we have Office 2013 RT, Word, PowerPoint, and Excel full versions. You got your full menus here. This is not some dumbed down mobile version. You do not get Outlook though. If Outlook itself, instead of the built-in email client for Windows 8 is important to you, then you really need to look not at an RT tablet, but a full Windows 8 tablet that can run Outlook. And we've got our Word over here. Just everything that you could hope for is available. And if you want to get back between your applications, is always very quick, you can see. And then we can do like that and see a list of all of our running applications. We won't cover all the features of Windows RT because we've done that quite a lot, especially in our MS Surface application. But you do get music player, you get your video player, you have the camera application. I always suggest, if available, use the OEM, the manufacturer's own camera application for better quality. In this case, there is no rear camera. We just have the front 1 megapixel 720p video chat camera handy for, well, Skype right there, and for other video chat things. By the way, this has an ambient light sensor, and Windows 8 handles that pretty badly. So if you buy one of these and it seems kind of dim, go over to your settings right here, and then go to General, and you're going to find one for screen right here. Turn off the auto brightness adjustment. You have brightness adjustment keys right up here on the FN row of your keyboard. Those are certainly good enough to get the job done. Auto brightness makes it look awful dim. The tablet has single band Wi-Fi, 802.11 BGN. Kind of bummed by that. Wish it was dual band. Bluetooth 4.0 as well. Does not have a GPS. Since the Yoga 11 has two USB 2.0 ports, you can use USB peripherals. Flash drives work, hard drives work, game controllers work, keyboards, mice, those all work. Many printers work, not all printers work. You get a decent set of USB drivers, and most of those will download on the fly over the net. Windows will take care of that for you, but things like 3G dongles right now, 3G, 4G, LTE dongles, those aren't working, so your advanced USB peripherals may not work with Windows RT, but all the basics, keyboards, mice, hard drives, that kind of thing will work. Optical drives, certainly application installation is not going to be useful here, because right now your apps that you have on your CDs and DVDs like Adobe Photoshop, those are all x86 EXE Windows 7 applications that don't run on RT anyway. Now how about a little competition from Lenovo themselves, since they've been doing some of the most interesting things with Windows 8 touchscreen products. Here we have the Lenovo ThinkPad Twist, 12.5-inch Intel Core i5 ULV 1.7 GHz. This is your standard Ultrabook basically in terms of power and internals. Also IPS display, 5 points of multi-touch, 1366 by 768 resolution. Runs about $100 more, $899, but you may find it on sale cheaper at a store. 500 gig spinning hard drive in here though, no SSD drive. That's for something that's very portable that you're going to be using potentially in tablet mode. That's kind of a bummer, so you're going to have to pay more money if you want the SSD on that. But for those of you who are looking for something reasonably portable, it doesn't have to be the smallest and the lightest. The Twist is certainly compelling, being almost the same price. Now what are you going to lose if you get something like the Twist, which is called the Twist because it has a center swivel hinge that lets it flop down into tablet mode, by the way. It doesn't do that 360-degree yoga hinge thing, but this works just as well too. What you're losing here is battery life. With the Core i5, you're looking more at 4 hours of battery life versus up to 13 with also amazing standby on the Yoga. So the Yoga has its point too. Now for those of you who are looking for something that is just a pure tablet, this is the Acer Iconia W700. This is also running on a Core i5, just the tablet. You use a separate Bluetooth keyboard with this guy, and Acer has a bundle that includes that. Obviously, well, you're looking at something that is going to be a little bit smaller, but not so much smaller when you close this up. However, this is lighter, 2 pounds versus 2.8 pounds, but no built-in keyboard. So for those of you who spend a lot of time in content creation again, this probably isn't as practical an item, but if you really want to use it more just like a tablet, then, well, it could be. And lastly, we have the Acer Iconia W510 here. This guy is running full Windows 8, also on an Atom CPU, only 10.1 inches, 1.3 pounds. So in a way it's more versatile because you can run those x86 Windows applications on this guy. Of course it's an Atom dual-core CPU. You're not going to run them real quick or anything like that, so there's that. But again, this is available with an optional keyboard dock. 10.1 inches means a smaller keyboard dock. Not nearly as wonderful to type on as this, but at 1.3 pounds separable, it's a bit more versatile. And this is $599 for the 64 gig. But again, that also gets back to that quality thing. For those of you who like quality merchandise, you get something that here that's really beautifully put together, solid, nice metal, amazing keyboard. The Acer Iconia W510, I love that tablet. It's incredibly versatile, but it's meant to be an affordable portable tablet. It is made of plastic, and the keyboard dock itself is also not the most exciting thing that you've ever seen. Now, since this is Windows RT, we don't get the Windows Experience Index, so can't provide that information for you with Tegris because it's all the same Tegra if you get an RT. There's really not going to be much differentiation. On the SunSpider JavaScript test, this scored 1100, which is pretty good. Not as fast as our Atom-based Windows 8 tablets, which scored about 800, but still plenty quicker than most phones. Not as quick as the iPhone and some of the quickest Android phones, but there's more than just the JavaScript test to that. The experience of loading a web page on this is absolutely just fine. And here we're loading our own website in the live tile version of IE. Loading speed is fine. Zooming is fine. Not that you're probably going to need to zoom out much because this is a nice, well, 1366 by 768 display. You're not talking about ultra compact resolution, and the modern UI applications compensate nicely for resolution, so you don't get text that's too small. But everything works just fine. If you want to play a video, you can play a video. Let's look at our W510 YouTube-based video review and see how that plays. And we'll pull it out to full screen.
This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today
Looks great.
the Acer Iconia W510. This is a
Plays
Windows
just
8
fine.
tablet. Now you can tell just
This can also play 1080p locally stored video just as well as you would expect of any Windows machine that's modern. And I'll show you some video too.
So when we needed them, they could fight the battles, but we never could.
So now we're playing a 1080p high-profile MPEG-4 trailer, obviously higher than the display resolution itself, though you can use that HDMI cable to output to a higher resolution display. Handles it absolutely no problem, no stuttering, no issues whatsoever.
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
So just because it's Windows RT doesn't mean it can handle that stuff. Speakers are pretty decent on this as well. Of course, you can use Bluetooth speakers or external wired speakers with it too. NVIDIA recently came out with the TegraZone application for Windows RT. There's a couple of apps in there, not a whole lot yet, but look what happened with the Android TegraZone platform. A whole lot appeared. And you can play live tile games that are available, and we're going to check out one right now. And now we're playing Guns for Hire. This is a really fun game. It's available on the Microsoft Windows App Store. Nice 3D shooting game. That plays just fine.
En route to position.
So while the game selection is still not huge for Windows RT yet, it's definitely getting there. There's hope for the future. But it's not going to be an iPad, certainly for gaming, or your regular Windows 8 desktop in terms of game selection. But it works well. It's a lot of fun. So it's actually a very versatile and capable product. Like I said, the only problem really is it's just kind of expensive, isn't it? $800. I think most people are going to think RT, I'm never going to pay that much for RT. But for those people who really want the maintenance simplicity, yes, this is running Windows, but most viruses are really designed for x86 executables. You're probably going to be a little bit more virus safe on this guy. You don't want to have to worry about as much maintenance. Battery life, superb on this. Standby time, just close it and leave it for a day if you want. Not going to have any problems there. Plays video well, plays music well. Anything that you can't get to that's web-based in terms of applications, you can use the browsers to do that. Again, like your Dropbox and your other cloud services. You can play Amazon Prime Video on here using the desktop IE. So there's actually a lot going on here, not to mention the Office 2013 RT that's included in the price. For those of you who need a lightweight travel companion that is low maintenance, long battery life, and just gets those essentials done, it's still worth a look. So that's the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga 11 available now. Price starting at about $665 on Lenovo's website for the 32 gig and $799 for the 64 gig. 2.8 pounds, light IPS display, a lot going for it, but Windows RT hurts a little bit now. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Visit our website for the full review, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.